Hello everybody, it's Joshino and welcome again to another Ask Joshino and just general channel updates. Behind me at the moment there's a LARPing event, which is live action roleplay if you didn't know. Basically a lot of guys and girls swinging around swords and in armour, and I think it's a fantasy one, so it's almost like an RPG. I think they go in and buy magical items and things like that. But anyway, there'll be sort of battle noises behind me and maybe that will conflict with the gameplay footage, but who knows. Anyway, just to get the updates out of the way on what's been going on with me and my channel, first of all, a massive thank you for all of the kind words in the last video. There are a lot of people saying, well, just generally nice things. Not gonna lie, it's quite a hard time at the moment, losing my job and not getting a new one yet, but that was really appreciated. Also, thanks to everyone that actually went ahead and donated to me. I got a lot through PayPal and through Patreon. It wasn't a lot of money, but quite a few people did donate, which is nice, and yeah, it means a lot. Later on in the video, there's one of the subscribers did talk about donations, and basically from now on I'm just going to not apologise for it. That's what he said anyway. I'll come to that in the question. My Australian cousin was here, and I haven't had that much time to do videos later this week, but I did get out between the last video and this one, that Nanite Systems news report video, and that was quite fun, and I think it's quite good. I'm quite proud of that one actually, and it could be better. I mean, my editing, that was where I felt a bit out of depth in my editing, and my camera work was a bit shoddy, especially because of my finger. It's still not healed totally. I can play games now and I'm almost there. It's just not quite as good as I was with my finger. If you didn't know, I gashed my finger open, and my foot's fine now as well, which I fell through the kitchen floorboards. But it seems to be getting better. But at the time, I couldn't use a controller. I couldn't hold the controller because it was too painful, but I could use the mouse, and the mouse is a bit more jittery than a controller when you're in that camera mode. So that's why it wasn't 100%, but I think it was okay. What videos I've got in the pipeline that are coming out soon, I'm going to do an ant Planet Araxis, and if you didn't know, Planet Araxis is the nature show where I put on a David Attenborough-esque voice. I mean, it's not perfect, and it's going to look at the ant and its natural habitat, and hopefully that'll be good. Also, 25 quick tips construction system edition, that should be out this Thursday coming up. Basically, Thursdays are actually prime day for YouTube videos, so I do try to get one out on a Thursday. I didn't manage to this week, unfortunately, but next week I want to get the 25 quick tips done. And then one that I've got scripted out and I just need to make really, I'll probably do tomorrow, it'll probably come out tomorrow or Tuesday, is why default weapons rock in PlanetSide2 and why it isn't pay to win. Basically a lot of people, like probably the most negative comment on my channel is I'm not playing the shit game PlanetSide2 because it's pay to win. These guys with amazing weapons are killing me and they're buying them with money, and that's just not true. There's side grades in the game and all statistics are sort of balanced one way or another. Nothing's too good or too bad. Everything has positives and negatives, and I'm going to go through all that in that video. That should be tomorrow, Tuesday. I wanted to do an Overwatch video as well. I wanted to go over Genji. I'm not actually that good at Genji, I'll put it out there, but it was going to be called Genji, my favourite troll, because quite frankly, redirecting enemies' abilities is hilarious. Basically, he starts swishing around his katana and he blocks any enemy attacks that are projectile based. He doesn't block lasers and things like that, and it throws it back at the enemy, and they pretty much kill themselves. It's quite funny. And then I've got a Stellaris video. It's basically PlanetSide2 edition. I made my own mod. It's not very advanced. It's literally, I put the symbols for Vanu, Terran, and New Conglomerate in, and I did basically an early playthrough. It was 2 hours of the Terran Republic, and the only thing was a Fallen Empire, and Fallen Empires sort of pop up in the game when you're playing. They popped up, and they were an obviously alien-esque race, which didn't really fit in with the PlanetSide2 universe, and they were the first ones I encountered, and I was like, ah. But now I've actually got to the meat of it. I've actually uncovered the New Conglomerate and the Vanu Sovereignty, and it turns out I'm the weakest faction. I might do a video on that. I don't know whether people want to see Stellaris or not, especially if it's a PlanetSide2 run, but be sure to put in the comments below whether or not you want to see it, and I probably have a poll here somewhere. What I wanted to say was that the donation run ran by a PlanetSide2 player for the disaster in Canada, for the fires, actually raised around $1,000. It was actually quite popular, and if people noticed on my channel, I put up a video basically just linking to that Twitch stream and that charity stream, and I took it off because basically I didn't really want it to be there for my channel. It was just literally trying to link it for my subscribers, basically, just to show them that there was this going on. So I think I'll keep it down unless people actually enjoyed that video for some reason. Anyway, let's get on to the questions, the meat and potatoes. iOrangeHD says, where did you film the video? It looks familiar. So in the background is part of the garden. I live in a farm, so it's very vegetated and in the countryside. And yeah, there's just a bridge, I don't know if you can see it, and there's a nice little pond. It's quite lovely. I'll let the camera focus on me again. No, it just wants the bridge now. I've given it too much bridge. The bridge is too good. Okay, I'm back. Oh my. Yeah, I don't know if everyone else realised, but I'm really rubbish because I've written down all the questions and I've got somebody's name here and I'm gonna pronounce it absolutely wrong, mainly because I've written it terribly. It's something like Howistin. Howishin? Howishin. It says, what is the demographic profile of your viewers? It's roughly 5% female, 95% male, and roughly, off the top of my head, it's around 35% 18 to 25-year-olds, I think. What I'll do, I think, because I'm guessing at the moment, is that I'll just put up the sheet of all the statistics of my videos and who's watching them, basically. It's something that always gets to me, is that girls aren't playing shooter games like PlanetSide2, and I just think that it's such a shame that they're really missing out. And I think that I've always wanted to do a video, or try and do a video with somebody that's female, to give the perspective on why there aren't so many girls in gaming. I know that some of the arguments are like this harassment, whatever, but I think the meat of it is that culturally it's not really accepted to play games the way that males play games. Like something like The Sims or something like that, that's a bit less geared towards competition, isn't really played so much by girls widely. And it'd be interesting to have a chat about that. It's just such a big part of my life and a lot of my friends' life, and it's almost like something you put in the closet when you are trying to form a relationship with somebody of the opposite sex, when really it's something that could be enjoyed by everybody. That's what I'm trying to get at. Dr. Gore says, a question: with your current employment status, what do you think you can do money-wise to, in the near and far into the future? This is me again writing rubbish. Money-wise, I'm down to my last £100 now, which is actually an overdraft, but that's going to pay my bills for another month. I would have thought a month or two, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not destitute. I'm not gonna die on the streets. I have a loving family, but they can't financially support me in the sense of I can't do anything. So at the moment I can pay off my phone bill and stuff like that, but I can't do anything. So I'm getting to the crunch point now where I really need to get a job, and I've been picky before, and it might be that I just have to suck it up and get something that's part-time, I mean full-time, and something that I really don't want to do, but that's just gonna have to be how it is. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna do for money. There's some things that come up with YouTube, like the actual revenue, I don't think, unless I had loads of videos like that 150,000 one, which is amazing, about why it's the time to play PlanetSide2. If I had 6 of those a month, that would be great, but that's just not realistically going to happen. Even this month I had 300,000 views total over the month, but that only equates to around $250, which then is reduced again, although I have negotiated to have 80% of all the profits from YouTube now rather than 70%. It's still not really enough to live off. Well, I mean, it's just not in the UK anyway. Realistically, I want to move out on my own, get an apartment with internet. Basically, my goal in life is just to get somewhere in the city with the internet. I can get everywhere, I can just hop on a bus, be environmentally friendly, and you know, that's what I want to do. But what was I saying? I was saying about YouTube. sometimes some things come through where people want you to do promotion or reviews of things, and the only reason why I don't do lots of them is because I say I'm an idealistic chap, and it's very, you know, not moral, some of them, and unless it's something that I think that there's no sort of underlining issue, like the IMSI stuff, I didn't actually get paid anything. They basically just gave out prizes, so I didn't see any problem with it. There might be in the future tech stuff where they might send me stuff and I might do reviews on that, which is fine in my opinion because I like tech. And I can, you know, just do a review, and it's just, you want to go for products that you think that you'll actually align with. I agree with the Total Biscuit sort of attitude that if you're going to advertise something, you have to like it, because I'm not going to lie. And my dog's coming over and is going to ruin the video. Let's hope he doesn't knock the camera off. Hey Harvey. Yeah, you can't see him. And I'm not moving the camera because it'll ruin the focus. Harvey, no. Okay, that's that. Let's move on to the next question. Kalaskai says, can you make a video telling people to stop playing heavy? That would be great. I don't know. The thing is, heavy in PlanetSide 2 is probably the best infantry class. Well, I mean, it is the best infantry class because of the extra health. Obviously, the light assault has the mobility. But I think since the update where the heavy shield was slightly nerfed, it has been a lot easier and more advantageous to play as a light assault. Other classes. My dog's just doing a wee. Good, good, good. Harvey, go away. Shoo, for now. Are you okay to just move on? Oh, screw it, I'll show you the dog. Harvey, Harvey, woo, woo. Look at you. Look at you, little Harvey, aren't you? Yeah, you, woo. What's here? Come here, Harvey. Yeah, you, woo. Well, that's Harvey anyway. Let's get back. I've only got 8 minutes left on the timer of how much storage I have on my camera. That's what I'm very conscious of. Anyway, where were we? We were on the heavy stuff. Personally, people can play what they want, to be honest. Some, you know, heavy is probably quite cheesy, but as I said before, if people want to play cheesy, then that's fine, that's their cheese. Jack Vokensoz says, when will you do a face reveal? Boo! There we go, that's all you're getting. I know you're trying to be funny there, but, you know, we have to do the faces. Shiny Red Bullets, which is a nod to the Terran Republic, says, what weird and wonderful 1 in a million chance of being considered thing would you like to have in PlanetSide 2 to make it go from super fun to crazy awesome? You know what I think would be absolutely amazing would be to have the Bastion fleet carriers. Basically, if you haven't seen Shackle's video, he's put the actual models in, but there's this model of a gigantic airship that has bays for fighters and things like that. I think one of these ships would be great if perhaps it worked like the cores at the moment, the hives, in sapping the warp gate. It moved around and also acts as a stage where aircraft can attack. It'd give much more purpose to air to air anyway, and also just generally be awesome. Imagine galaxies dropping on a moving ship. If you played Battlefield 2142, think of the Titan. The Titan was absolutely amazing, and the sieges on the Titans were ridiculous. They were a massive ship as well, and that was pretty much the base. On their mode, they actually had missiles that were firing at the Titan, which were the points, the capture points, which could even tie in to PlanetSide 2. They could have something similar, like EMPs firing off at the Titan or the Bastion fleet carrier. I think that would be awesome. It adds another dynamic to the game, and if they've gone one step with the construction system, then maybe the next step should be the Bastion fleet carrier. Marwan Shamsia says, since you're beginning to be transparent with money stuff, are you saving for Battlefield 1? I don't have anything to save anymore, but I will have money eventually. I'm going to get a job or something will come along, and I'll get Battlefield 1. That's just how it'll be. Ooh, I've written this name wrong as well. I think it's Juk Makuranta. Can you do more Planet Araxis? And yeah, as I mentioned, I'm doing the ant. The lovely ant in its natural habitat on Araxis. Phosphorun says, I saw you crash 2 times on Stellaris on Steam. Did you crash a lot? And yeah, basically when I was getting my mod to work, I made some errors with some of the files. So yeah, I just kept crashing. And if anyone wants to join the Steam group, there is a Joshino group, and you can add me on Steam. I don't really mind. Apparently my friends list is full. I have got a few hundred people on there, mainly subscribers that add me, and all you have to remember is that I'm busy most of the time. If I'm not doing videos themselves, I'm probably writing scripts or looking for jobs and things, so I don't always have time to respond, but I do try to be quite open and connected to everybody. I don't mind talking to people on Steam, and usually it's just thanks, and it's just nice to have that. I'm very aware that I've got 4 minutes now, so let's get quick. Blazar Gaming says, when is the construction system coming to the PS4? Well, it's currently in a stage of testing, and what they're doing is they're phasing it in because they don't know how the performance will work. So the first phase should be relatively soon, probably early June or this month, and then on, I'm not too sure, but I'll try and look into it. I'm doing a video, I forgot about that actually, I'm doing my video on Tuesday, which will be my wipe, which will go over all the happenings this month in PlanetSide2, and I'll go over that update being announced in more depth anyway. I need to do some research on it as well. A Tree12 says, hey Joshino, will you be playing Doom in the future? And I'd love to play Doom, but I chose Overwatch over Doom and Stellaris, and I don't have any money anymore for games, so anything that isn't free to play at the moment I probably can't play in the foreseeable future. Zanive says, I would look at some of the narratives from Rust, and would be something good to do like this in PlanetSide2. Basically, doing commentary, a live commentary on some battles in PlanetSide2, like the stuff I did with that construction system news report, but live and more flowing. And it is something that I've really considered and I've wanted to do, but I'm not 100% sure that I'm always going to have the observer cam. I think that I don't know whether they've actually given it me or just not forgotten to change the password on the observer cam, but I've had it for 2 years now, so hopefully that won't happen. But it probably is something that I'll do whilst I have it anyway. I'll give it a shot. Overdue, maybe. Sorry, I've written that down wrong as well. Amanda Palmer talks about the art of asking. Don't apologise if you need some funding or support of any kind, as long as you give something back. First, learn how to do it. And since then, since that video, basically, I wasn't. Especially, I don't know. I'm not. It's hard to ask for money or donations and things like that. It's really awkward. But I watched the video. I thought it was good, and realistically, I think that, you know, what I do, I pour hours into, and if people enjoy it and they can donate, then please, by all means, send it to my PayPal. It's linked in below, and also to the Patreon. And if I do get, well, whatever funding I do, I will use to basically keep going as much as I can with my video stuff and doing things that I enjoy doing, and I hope that you enjoy. And I've changed my symbol for the Patreon to a hat. Basically, she talks about the idea of begging in the street and being a street monument and having her hat out, and then she went to do rock, and she was completely crowdfunded. But she was very open about needing the funding, which is true in my case as well. Without the funding, I am likely to go into a crappy job and not have time, or as much time, to do my video stuff. And it's already quite hard for me to do videos now. It's always been something like therapy for me and a hobby, but at this point, when I'm doing it almost full time, I'm working on scripts all the time. Sometimes you don't see that. I'm working on scripts, I'm looking at the channel engagement, all the analytics stuff. I'm doing stuff behind the scenes. So basically, if you want to support me and want me to carry on, full whack anyway, I'm not going to go away, then just drop something into the hat above, or either Patreon, which is subscription, or PayPal, which you can just donate anything. Maybe say if you want me to read out your name or put it on the end of the video, because I don't know whether to keep people anonymous or not. Anyway, I've got 35 seconds left of video on my storage on my memory card, so thank you all very much again, and if you do want to donate, it's there. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe, like the video if you thought it was good, dislike it if you thought it was absolutely bloody awful. And yeah, if you want to ask a question for next time, put it in the comments below. If you have any video ideas or anything you want to say, be sure to comment it. Until next time, everybody, Joshino 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.